Welcome, welcome. On the way to the museum. First, I wanted to say good morning, but I realized that it's like 4 o'clock or something, and basically, by the time we're gonna get to the museum, it's gonna be closing time, but what can we do? I was sleeping so much. I think I slept like 12 hours. Even though I woke up halfway, but I just fall asleep back. Look around. This is an amazing area. Some buildings here in Barbican looks like straight out of Eastern Europe. Actually, I read somewhere that so many artists living here at Barbican because this reminds them of the Eastern Bloc. So if you come to the city, if you come to London and you wanna visit this Museum of London, which I strongly suggest to do so, you can either go to St. Paul's Station or Barbican. It will have a completely different effect on you, I'm telling you, depending on which way you're choosing. 5 years ago, when I got my first professional camera, I remember coming here, taking pictures here, especially in the glass house. But we're not going to the Barbican Centre now, we're going to the Museum of London. You're gonna see the Roman times, the Great Plague, the Great Fire of London, the whole history. And of course, the Olympics, 2012 Olympics. I remember that really well because at that time I was living in Stratford. So basically, next to me, in few steps from me, they built the whole Olympic village out of nothing, from scratch. They did an unbelievable work. It's not raining now, but it will rain later, I can tell you that. It was raining 5 days straight. A few days ago I met a friend and it was raining so much, and he decided that why don't we just walk, and we were walking in the rain for 3 hours. But that was cool. This city looks cool in the rain. In case you wonder why I'm showing you my shoes, well, so not because they are new, because I don't want to get anyone's face in the picture. I was working somewhere the other day and suddenly I felt something, just back of my head. I looked up and I saw one lady, one of my colleagues, taking a picture of me, and I was like, what? And she put down her phone and she was like tapping on it a little bit, and then looked up and explained herself, and she said, oh, I just wanted to show the office to our Australian colleagues. And I was like, what? You're supposed to ask for permission or something. Well, maybe it sounds funny, but I don't like if someone is taking a picture of me, so obviously I try not to take picture of anyone. It's really, really hard, especially in a public place like this. And this is Mitra religion. Few streets from here there is Mitra temple, We should go there one of these days. Oh, gold. And now let's have a look at the new Museum of London. They are constructing a completely new building. There was an event called Open House London, where for a weekend, for Saturday, Sunday, they opened up some public places for the citizens to see. Correction. So they opened up for the public some places that is usually closed for the public. And one of the building was this building, the new Museum of London. But you needed to download the app, the Open House London app, and then you needed to register and ask for a permission to go in there. So some people got lucky, I guess. But definitely I will be there at the opening. The Roman times. Absolutely fascinating how organized they were. On the map up there, there's a place called Aquincum. I'm from there. This room is really amazing. I can actually picture myself living here. My guests would love it, especially the floor, this mosaic floor. So these are the rich people, and now we're gonna have a look at the poor people, the common people. And it says the floor was flattened earth. So no mosaic floor for them, just earth. But for me, it's not a big deal at all. My grandparents had a weekend house, and in there they had flattened earth in the basement. They use this technique, if I could call it a technique, to avoid getting the walls wet, so the house could breathe, if it makes sense. I know it doesn't. Not if you were born in, well, after 2000. Must be a cat. Must be. Look at the leaves. The nature says the summer is over. You look at only a small details of that lamp and you know it must be Victorian London. This place is very busy, even though they're closing in maybe half an hour. All the displays are wonderfully arranged. I love it. I can really appreciate this. You know why? Because once they asked me to do something like this, to design an exhibition, and from that moment I learned how hard it is to do it properly. Books, books, books. Look at that. I had my own publishing company for years. I made my living out of this stuff. I like porcelain. I like painted china. When I look at it, I don't know, it feels home. Ah. But of course I'm renting since I left high school. Those old maps. Bishopsgate, it says. In the very beginning, you could see through the window the old London walls, because it was, in the old times, the city was surrounded by walls and they had gates where you could enter the city. One of them was Bishopsgate. Moving on. This is a theater, and actually for me this is a proper theater, a proper one, because once one of my flatmates invited me to a play with Josh Hartnett, and we were sitting so high up there that basically you couldn't see much of the action taking place on the stage. Shakespeare, the master. Hello. The frame on the wall, the mirror, I'm talking about the mirror. It's handmade. Must have been very expensive at the time. Actually, now that I come to think of it, one time I've had a flatmate. She was doing this kind of stowing things, curtains, etc. Moving on. This is a portable oven. Looks like the helmet of Darth Vader. Come to the dark side. We have cookies and pies and bread. My new laptop arrived a few days ago. I'm so happy. 10th generation Intel Core. Finally I can try some hardcore editing stuff. You know, because with my old computer I couldn't use Vegas. It would burn the whole thing down. But I've chosen the new laptop just for editing purposes. This obviously reminds me of last Tuesday, I almost said Thursday, last Tuesday when we were walking 3 hours in the rain. This must have been looked like this couple of hundreds years ago. But last Tuesday, the city was very deserted. As I said before, we had constant rains falling for like 5 days. He knows basically everything, and I was so happy that I could show him something new, and that was a pub with a ping pong table upstairs. And lots of games, board games. So after 3 hours walking in the rain, we hung out in the pub, surrounded with these board games and the ping pong table upstairs, and we had quite a good time. And this is the World War. Lovely.